doesn't happen often.
Very, very well. And thanks for teaching us a bunch of new tricks there. And
I do have one Tommy Emmanuel trick that you and I.
Yeah. Well, you know, the people just.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're 40 seconds behind us, so they haven't gotten to this yet. So it's interesting to watch all the applause come in the middle of your next thing. And they're saying, now that he's all warmed up, can he play for the rest of the night? I promise you all he'll be back, and you better come here when he does. Yeah, show us that little thing, and then I got to get started with everybody else here.
He's doing this type of stuff, then he ends it with my favorite. Good night, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jack Cutter, everybody, let's hear it one more time. Okay, so we closed the camera off after the feature, and now we've just turned it back on. So this section is being recorded separately, and if things go well, we'll try to keep doing that each week so we can separate out the feature from the rest of the people. So anyway, so now is the time for the open mic. So quickly, 3 rules for open mic here at Sacred Grounds. The first rule is please be quiet. If you have to have a conversation, go outside where you can sit and talk all you want away from the door, or in the back where you can whisper to each other. Now there's a couple of reasons. One, I take this all very, very seriously, and to me this is like going to the opera. You know, you wouldn't take a burrito and a beer and talk to the guy next to you during the opera. Some old soprano would probably hit you upside the head with one of her helmets or throw a spear at you. And so I consider what's happening up here on stage to be the most important primary thing, and the thing is to give them your ear, give them your attention, and that inspires new people who come here who are terrified of being up here, and they have such a good time when they leave this stage, they can't wait to get back, and that's what this is about. Second rule, do not play along with people. You might be better than they are and you'll throw them off. However, if they want you to play along, they'll tell you that, and there are some regulars that come who like you to play along with them all the time. And if that's true, if they say, play along with me, then give it 120%. I want to see your veins pop out. I want to see you pounding your fist. I want people to think there's 300 people in this room, okay? So you give that artist the support they want, but only if they ask for it. Otherwise, you might screw them up. And the third and the most important rule, in my opinion, is if you hear something you do not like, or you do not understand, or you're not with it, applaud louder. Louder! Show more respect, because today's avant-garde might be tomorrow's paycheck. You might have to pay in 3 years to see something that you think is strange today. So again, it's about respecting the artists here and not about drinking beer and talking to your friends. It's also going out over the internet, so if you do have a conversation, you have to remember that people in Germany are listening to you rag about your period and the people that you don't like and blah, blah, blah. And that just doesn't make it, okay? So, now we start the open mic, and I will bring the rest of you up here. You will have 2 songs or 10 minutes. The 10 minutes is punitive. If you're playing a 15-minute song, I will cut you off after 10 minutes, okay? Because time is the only valuable money and commodity we have here, and we want to pass it on to the next person. If you can play your 2 songs in 3 minutes and give the rest of the time to somebody else, we will applaud you, and I will come over and give you a hug and shake your hand and thank you for passing it on to other people. That's a good thing, folks, okay? So I will go around and call you before it's your time to come up here, and that's the time to get ready. Tune. Don't tune on stage. Tune before you come up. Get your voice warmed up. Get your act together so when you come on stage, you don't waste other people's valuable time, okay? Come up here, do your thing, get off, and I'll make sure people appreciate you, okay? So that's basically it, all right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, starting tonight with Ryan Voss. Yeah. Is that good?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
You're not straining your neck. Okay. Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'd like to add, I'm so very happy to see my friend Ryan Casada here. You know, so I'm covering the Ovation 12 string. He'll be doing the Ovation 6 string a little bit later. So we'll do a full-on plug and advertisement for Ovation guitars for you.
Yeah, right. Ovation night.
So I'm going to start off with a cover. This is actually a song that's very dear to me. One of my biggest heroes in music throughout my life was Leon Russell. Brilliant songwriter, great performer, you know. And unlike a lot of other artists until recently, was mostly forgotten about. But I'm going to do one of his songs. I want to dedicate to Jack Cutter. This is a favorite song of mine. It's called Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yeah, cool.
How many days has it been since I was born? How many days till I die? Do I know any ways that I can make you laugh? Do I only know how to make you cry? When a baby looks around him, just such a sight to see. He shares a simple secret with a wise man. He's a stranger in a strange land. Stranger in a strange land. Stranger in a strange land. How many miles? How many miles will it take to see the sun? How many years till it's done? Kiss my confusion away in the night. Lay by my side till the morning comes. When a baby looks around him, shares a bed of hay in the burrows in the palace of the king. He's a stranger in a strange land. 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 Well, I don't know exactly what's going on in the world today. Don't know what there is to say about the way the people are treating each other, not like brothers. Leaders take us far away from ecology with mythology and astrology. Got some words to say about the way we live today. Why can't we learn to love each other? It's time to put a new face to the whole worldwide human race. Stop the money chase, sit back, relax, and get back on the human track. Stop racing towards oblivion. Oh, such a sad, sad state we're in. And that's the thing about the bells of truth when you hear them ring. You want to sing along, sing it, stranger. Stranger in a strange land. Sing along. Stranger in a strange land. Stranger in a strange land. Stranger in a strange This is a newer one I've written. Some of you have heard it already. First of all, last week, unfortunately, I lost my other guitar, Blue Bastard. It's a long story, but I really miss it dearly, miss it like you would a child. And but before that, I actually wrote a song on it, and found that it actually translates well on the 12th string. It's an interesting song. It was one I wasn't really sure about. It's called I Don't Know What to Say, and I just, initially wasn't really sure about it, but with everything that's been going on in my life lately, it just seems to resonate very strongly. And also I think about another dear friend of ours that's not here this week, Lady Zeitgeist. I've gotten to be very, very good friends with her, and initially the song was based on certain things that she's told me about, things going on in her life. She wrote a song of her own called Our Worlds Collided, which is about a friendship that died, and the friend just kind of turned her back on her. So I kind of put myself in her shoes and wrote this song, and then as I performed it, I realized, oh my God, I'm going through this too. This is me too. So it's interesting when you find a song that resonates like that. So without further ado, this is I Don't Know What to Say. I say too much sometimes, which would matter if you heard anything. Stuck in the white noise and out of your view as you download apps to your latest Dixie cup with string. I never say what you want to hear. You only sneer at my pessimistic garbage. It cracks me up, the reactions to my bad days, like I should be asking for more, please. I never smile enough for your viewing pleasure. You'd like more anecdotes and less war stories. You'd like more sunshine and less snow. Goes to show an alien to the underprivileged. Nourishment and blue doesn't suit your point of view. And if I came down with the flu, you'd only ask when I was out of here. And I ain't got the words, I don't know what to say. If you wish real hard and think, who knows, I might go away. You're quite content in your lowered expectations. So much easier the reflections you made. Ignorance is bliss, better still for you. I'm the buttersome joke that I'll never get. Back to the circus with my fellow freaks, but come next week, see me back around to fan the flames. You're an ideal voice of reason to a room full of mannequins and fools. Waxworks to be tempered by your touch, while my heart is steel as long since cool. You're just too cool to be had, and aren't you glad no one's left around to distract you from your own pain? Nourishment and blue doesn't suit your point of view. And if I came down with the flu, you'd only ask when I was out of here. And I'm at a loss for words, I don't know what to say. Wish real hard and think, who knows, I might go away.
some quick announcements. Well, we just saw September 5th here, Jack Cutter. Next week, probably the only person I think that can just, you know, at least equal what we just saw is Joe Deanna, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen this lady, get your ass over here. You are going to have one hell of a good time. She has a voice like an angel. She sings stuff that is very Celtic-like and a lot of strumming and finger-picking stuff, and she's just good. And if you can, bring some money and buy her album. I have to tell you that for a person who sings and plays guitar, that album has the best production value of any album I've ever heard. Her voice is flawless, the guitar is flawless. Whoever cut that for her, I hope she keeps him in her pocket, because that guy really knew how to balance things perfectly. So I suggest you just get one to listen to it so you can hear how good someone by themselves can sound on an album. Up after that, on September 19th, will be Charles Haymarket. Looking forward to seeing you, Charles. And after that, on the 26th, will be Daryl Jones. You saw her last week. She is a poet, mostly as a writer, a story, but she used to be a professional ballerina, and you can tell the minute she stands here and just moves one hand, she has this incredible presence with her body. And she'll be doing God knows what. She just might come and have a schizophrenic seizure for us all. Which will be incredibly entertaining. She's very, her words, you got to listen to her, very, very talented lady. Up after that, October 3rd, our own Jimmy G, which you'll hear later on. The guy who's coming up next will be on October 10th doing a feature, Johnny Hernandez. On October 17th will be Side Street Ricky. Hi, Mom! And on, yeah, you want her. She doesn't have her shoes on, she said. I told her I can't smell it, so it's okay. October 31st, which is Halloween, will be here, and the feature will be Lady Zeitgeist. Hope you all dress up in costume or get something, bring some firecrackers or something. We'll have some fun. Now, October 24th, I don't have anybody right now, and from November 7th on, I have nobody. So if anybody, where's Ryan? Ryan, where are you?
Ryan Casada.
If anyone wants to do a feature, Ryan Casada, wherever you are. Hint. Please see me during the show or just right after the show, and I'll write you in. So now, we have 4 new people here, and I'm going to just call out your names briefly so I can put your face, you know, a name to your face. Marlo? You're Marlo? I just want to see who you gave. Gabrielle?
Right here.
Yeah, violin. And Whitney? She's not here. Whitney K. And then Sean. Okay, so now I know who you are. All right, you 4 people are new here, so what I'm going to do is you will not be as you are here. I will put you in between some of the regulars, so we get a chance to, you know, put a nice environment around you to give you a little height there. We always like to try to bring the new people up and stick them in between regulars, because the regulars get here so early they just pack up the whole first half of the show. So, and the new people usually don't. Oh, and oh my God. Well, I'll put you down.
Oh, thank you.
And so anyway, that'll be it. So up next, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a big round of applause for Johnny Hernandez.
That's the way to fix it with a smack.
Oh yeah, technical rap.
There you go.
Oh, I see. They just have the mid-range crank. Okay.
That's those Wednesday night poets.
Those Wednesday night poets, they like to have that echo, echo, echo as they talk, so it sounds serious.
Okay.
Johnny Hernandez, ladies and gentlemen.
So, friend of mine who's kind of like a poet and public speaker and activist kind of had an issue the other day that he was kind of putting out. And I thought, yeah, there needs to be a song about that. So this is the song, and you'll kind of figure it out. And there's sing-along parts in it, like I always do, so you know how that goes. There. Okay, here we go. Hey, Mr. Mayor, there seems to be a problem. You say that you're bringing jobs to our fair city by giving tax breaks and freebies to all the industries, while neglecting to address the issues of the needy on our streets. Don't you know there's nowhere to go? It's a matter of dignity. Once you remove the benches, drinking fountains, public spaces, and amenities, nowhere to sit, lay, rest your head, or go to sleep. But worst of all, there's nowhere to go, no place to pee.
Yeah.
When you gotta go, there's no public toilets, no place to pee. Sing along. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There you go. Woo. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. It's a travesty. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. Hey, city council, what's the story here? Even the dogs have places where they can play and run free. With the parks curfew laws, there's people who have nowhere to stay. They can't sleep in doorways, lay on the sidewalks, or roam the streets. Don't you know there's nowhere to go? It's a matter of dignity. Once you remove the benches, drinking fountains, public spaces, and amenities, nowhere to sit, lay, rest your head, or go to sleep. But worst of all, there's nowhere to go, no place to pee. When you gotta go, there's no public toilets, no place to pee. Sing along, here we go. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. Yeah, there's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. I'm aware there's drugs, gangs, crime, abuse, and criminal entities. These problems need to be addressed for the safety of society. But unless you want people pissing on walls every time nature calls, there needs to be public restrooms so everyone can pee.
Yeah.
We the people have the right to hygiene and a place to pee. Cause don't you know there's nowhere to go? It's a matter of dignity. Once you remove the benches, drinking fountains, public spaces, and amenities, nowhere to sit, lay, rest your head, or go to sleep. But worst of all, there's nowhere to go, no place to pee. When you gotta go, there's no public toilets, no place to pee. One more sing along. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. There's nowhere to go, no place to pee. When you gotta go, there's no place to go, no place to pee. I think we've addressed that issue. It's on tonight. Okay, this next one. Oh, pardon me. This next one is kind of a nonsense song, actually. It's the way I see things. I see things really strange. Like when I look at signs and they're written a certain way, I see them different. You know, it's like, yeah, you guys will kind of get it. And so anyway, it's called Headlines, okay? And again, there's sing-along in it and stuff. And it should be interesting. Let's see what happens. When people tell me I should get ahead. I say no thanks, I've already got a head of my own. But if I needed one, I'd surely go to a head shop. My assumption is that's where they'll probably grow. Sometimes they'll tell me to think ahead. Well, I can always imagine one full size in my mind. But it seems to me that having a brain in your head beats having a head in your brain most any time. Who wants a head in their brain anytime? This song is made up of headlines. If I plan ahead, can I build it for you? This song is made up of headlines. And if you sing along, you can be ahead too. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. Here we go. This song is made up of headlines. This song is made up of headlines. This song is made up of headlines. And if you sing along, you can be ahead too. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. Heads up is my cue to look at the sky and make sure those noggins aren't falling to the ground. To head off somewhere really gives me a scare. I'd rather head on to the places I am bound. I want to know, do blockheads throw block parties all night long? Could a headband land a record deal by singing this song? Does a head in the clouds end up in outer space? And when you go to the head, are you sitting on its face? To the head, are you sitting on its face? This song is made up of headlines. If I plan ahead, can I build it for you? This song is made up of headlines. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. Here we go. This song is made up of headlines. This song is made up of headlines. This song is made up of headlines. And if you sing along, you can be ahead too. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. On the road, when a sign says, yield ahead, do I surrender my own head or choose a substitute? Does the stop ahead sign give me the authority to signal ahead and make it my recruit? Do blockheads throw block parties all night long? Could a headband land a record deal by singing this song? Does a head in the clouds end up in outer space? And when you go to the head, are you sitting on its face? When you go to the head, think about it, are you sitting on its face? This song is made up of headlines. If I plan ahead, can I build it for you? This song is made up of headlines. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. If you sing along, you can be ahead too. Last sing along, here we go. This song is made up of headlines. This song is made
people have asked me, just because you landed on a number here doesn't mean you'll be up at that time, especially considering that the first 3 people didn't even sign up. So if you think you're number 9, you've just been moved up to 6. And what we usually do is, new people who come here who haven't been here before, well, we like to sacrifice our virgins here at the sacred grounds. So we'll put you between 2 regulars. That way you'll have a nice, comfortable, cushy couch to perform in. So up next, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has been a part of every single sound and every single week this place has been open since I started. When I came here the first 3 weeks, nobody showed up. And then one day, this guy signed up, and we had an open mic. It was just him and me. And the following week, we had 3 people sign up, and well, the rest is history. Ladies and gentlemen, Rainbow!
Without a fan.
You're very, very welcome. And Marlo,
This is called
you'll be after.
It's Up to You. The flowers that blossom in the spring makes you wanna dance and sing. And there's a light in your eyes as bright as the sun, that makes you shine on every one. Until the sky comes tumbling down and buries you underground. So hard to feel the daylight when it's as black as the night. So you say you wanna fly so high and disappear in the sky. Forget all your worldly misery. Be happy and be free. In eternity there's no such thing as time. It's all a concept of the mind. Still the flowers have died and the summer is gone. The cold wind is coming on. You can live or you can die. You can laugh or cry. It really matters what you're gonna do. Baby, it's up to you. 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 Remembering once upon a time when love was so sublime. But that was a long, long time ago. It's sad she had to go. Remembering once upon a friend who turns into a dragon. Burns you and leaves you bad time. The smoke swallows up the sky. The push of the button, the world explodes. Comes on What can you do when your day is done? So where can you hide, or where can you run? I feel like a wolf on the edge of the night, waiting for the moonlight, and I'm hoping it'll be alright, hoping
paint on his pants. This is one of Rainbow's things. He always comes and brings us a little background art here. So I'd like to just for a change give the camera a little close-up of it. I am very lucky that down through the years, as I've gotten to know Rainbow, he occasionally writes a poem for me or a song, and he gave me a picture that he did of Beethoven, which proudly sits on my grand piano right next to Ray Charles. And
You deserve it, Mr. Mastro.
oh well, talent like this, ladies and gentlemen, we should be all be able to paint the whole world like this. All right. Yeah. One of my favorite things is when we have new people, and here we claim that we like to sacrifice virgins' cherries at the mic. So up tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our first virgin, Marlo. Let's hear it for me. Need the mic, get it out. Oh yeah, there you go. And our cameraman. There we go.
How you doing, everyone?
Yeah.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out and assembling this, and I want to, especially Mr. Nacho, who I met down the street, had no idea he was associated with this. I thank Gabriella as well as Ryan and everyone here who I've met, and Yuri Thrall, a person that I met 25 years ago, playing in a number of bands. We had a number of crew back in Texas, but I've been living in Australia for the last 20 years. And I managed to get out. But I'm back, returned, very, very grateful and privileged to be here, like in San Francisco Bay Area, because I've always had that heart connection with this, and a heart connection with people who like to get, into a space, create a space, and launch from that place of the heart. So I just came back from Burning Man with the churning sand and the grains. Everyone is sacred, like the grounds. So let's break bread, make it profound, and I'm just going to go off the head, the mound, the dome. It's okay. I'm in the zone. And I'm getting directions, but it's okay because it's natural law. So let me understand. Through life, there's no flaw. Yo. So if you're frozen, you're going to thaw. You're going to melt. It's all right. Bring it beyond the circumference of my own belt, because sometimes I need help, so I need to look for something more divine than a corporate contract, get eye contact, make connect, and pump my project on a permanent trajectory. High is the arch. When I look around, the art, the sparks I make after dark and in the morning. Well, not really, but in my dream state. Let me just bring a heavyweight past gates. I don't hesitate to detonate, but stay calm. It's an H-bomb with reverse on. So when it drops, the people feel nice. Feel better than that? I'm a veteran and wrap up tap like a hydrant. Bringing it vibrant right here tonight, evening. Nothing preconceived. That's the weave of my tapestry, the loom. Howling at the moon or expressing, bench pressing, or whatever for your fitness or your spirit. I'm feeling the buzz from the amp, but I'm getting amped myself, so a ramp might as well be here, because I'm about to ollie with my jolly, and over the folly, I'ma transcend, no pretend. The only gift I got is the ability to fill the pot with all of you right here making the brew. You understand? So take a sip of this. I'm from the land of the kangaroo and eucalyptus, so you could possibly fit this in the potential of your mental, or maybe the unlimited riveting factor where rap's pure, comes straight from the chest, manifest the quest beyond the mission. No permission needed, because I heeded my path, but I try to bring light beyond heat and cheat. The way society causes anxiety, tries to kill all of our variety. I'm talking diversity universally, meant to dent our heart anatomy, or maybe make some change, or maybe understand where we are inside the range of these times. I try to find this and breeze right with my mind, that sometimes it gets twined or knotted. Either way, I never forgot this tectonic place I come from. Mnemonic maps can't even trace, with a base placed at the base of your spine, with some aced ultra rhyme refined, filling your gut with the proper enzymes for the mind. Hungry designs and hungry minds off the radar like Einstein's. So big up to my desert crew, reggae and rap ripping, back flipping and making onlookers all thinking they're tripping on life. Because the only thing I got is this moment. And that's my gift. I like to lift and rise to occasions. I don't know if I brought the vibration, but I think I did, because I feel it in the room, and now we're about to bloom like some forest. It's a chorus and a verse unrehearsed. Don't get the nurse even though I spit ill. My skill becomes my gills and I become a fish. If you wish, I'll shape shift, metamorphosis, drift like the sand at Burning Man. They talk about gifts. Do they mean trinkets? I understand it's diversity, we gotta link it. In the brain, sometimes we get sick of it. But I bring the spigot, you can't protest the best when I bring the quest, like I said, beyond a mission, with no permission needed. Like clay, we gotta shape-shift reality today. Go solar, go wind, people power on the hour. Time we do this to devour the sour and change it. But hey, what can I do? Just talk to you, wait for 10 minutes, spin it on the clock dial, understand this is freestyle like the Nile to deliver the river. And for those who don't know, this is the Megillah of a real rhyme spiller, a mad master milliner. Flip your head. This is how we bring it on the path we've led. We're artists, so we know the TARDIS. We know how to switch time, bring it round to your spine, till it becomes gelatin and we're compelled to win when we know we can. But I mean beyond the token. Fire stoking every single moment we're creative. Fire native to this desire to transcend our build. That's about it right now, but my skill can still go other places if I want to write it down. But right now, this will never be anything but invited and ignited in the crown. Let me tell you, this has always been crown land. Before the royalty tried to spoil me in slavery. Gone today? No, only a fool would claim. So we gotta understand and not just blame. Our demons I'ma claim. Overstand, they're all mine. Bring it back and find the only thing that's worth to mine is the diamond within. So I'm finding the swim is the length we swam. Now we can jam with the open heart, open hand. Grip with a mic that won't slip off. Unless I feel the trough, but I'm up on the loft when I bring the thought to unique places to greet my breed of freaks. Indeed, the peace, we got a feast in this room, so give thanks. One love.
Thank you, Mr. Nacho. After that will never happen again. The same way. And if anyone has a beat later on, I'll meet you in the street on a cipher. I represent and exemplify the rhyming element with another MC named Izzy Brown. I just gotta mention this one thing. My crew is called Combat Wombat. They're from Australia.
Nice.
I'm not from Australia, thus the funny voice, because I'm from LA, but I lived around, moved to Australia, and have started working with this crew about 10 years ago. We're on tour, just went through Europe, second time over there. Now we're scattered, but we will unite soon. I just have to mention that Izzy Brown is one member of the crew of Combat Wombat, the other one's Monkey Mark. Izzy Brown's been organizing along with Monkey and a whole bunch of other crew, and crew including the indigenous elders of both West Papua and Australia. Uncle Kevin Buzzacott is in Arabana land, which is near Lake Eyre, if you want to look for it on the map. Uncle Kevin Buzzacott feels it's important to continue the sacred songline with West Papua, brothers and sisters from way before when the land was. Yeah, so just check that out. You can read on your eyes watching. Right now there's a flotilla. I'm sorry, talk to me later about the West Papua flotilla that's on this high stage right now.
Thank you. As I said, the 10 minutes is punitive. Sorry, it is not a gift. It is punitive. There's a reason for it. You're spending someone else's dime. So if you tell me you got a 1 minute thing, I expect it to be 1 minute. If it goes past that, I'll throw you off stage. As politely as I can. That's right. Let's hear it for Marlo, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great freestyle rap. Thank you. He also, by the way, makes flutes. If you like things made out of bamboo, cane, or something like that, he makes amazing flutes. That's how I saw him when he came over. Now, very quickly here, we got someone coming up here that I like. We've got a little buzz here. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, Side Street, Ricky!
Yeah, I know that.
I can do that.
That's all right. I'm not thinking it's
Yeah, they got it. Sorry, but
No, you got it.
all right. I think you'll figure it out, man.
Angel wants you to know that she's watching.
Who?
He just met a lady named Angel earlier, and she's watching.
Yeah, angels are watching.
Angels are watching.
Yeah, and they have Wi-Fi in heaven.
They don't need it. It goes direct to brain.
Sure they do.
Why be there?
Quiet.
The guy's like, hey, you got hair like mine. What's the story?
Yeah.
All right, this tune here is a shout out to Barstow. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Barstow.
Yay, Barstow. Rock.
Anyway, I hope Minnie Mouse was kind to you.
Oh, cool.
Last night, pre-flight, yeah. 0 out, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a cat by then. Well, I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. Well, you know it's lonely out in space.
kid. Back as cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them. Oh, if you did, and all the signs, oh, I don't understand. See, it's my job 5 days a week. I'm a rocket man, a rocket man. Think it's gonna be a long, long time. Touchdown, bring me out of here to find about the man that think I am at home. No, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse out here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Here comes success. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. Yeah. Hey, Mom. You liked it? Yeah. Love you.
That song really good.
Don't go too far, Rick.
Yeah, Ricky's mom was watching. One thing, you see the points here at the table? If you stand here and then move forward, you are decapitating yourself on the camera, and there's just this disembodied moving around. So the further back you can get, and even better if you're on this side of this light, then we can see you. If you're in front of the light, you're starting to shade yourself. So just let y'all know, when in doubt, move, do one of those. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy G. Yeah, and you'll be next.
In honor of Ricky's mom, I'm not going to use any cuss words this
Oh, gee.
No, after my shameless performance last week, I Ricky, come on up here, would you?
All right.
I'd like to do something serious, kind of simple. This is actually a serious song. I'm in tune, so about as close as I'm going to get. Anyway, this the story behind this one is I had a friend come out from Louisiana. This is a few months back, and I saw him and I said, "How you doing, man?" He goes, "Oh man, not good." And I said, "Well, what?" You know, and he said, "Well," I said, "What's going on?" He says, "Man, it's bad. And I said, "What? You know?" He says that the oil spill, man, it's bad. He says it's killing. We're dying. It's killing a way of life, man. And he had a tear in his eye. And he says, "Man, you ought to write a song about that." So I wrote it, and Ricky's going to help me out. I wrote it. We would have an accordion and a fiddle. But,
Next time.
someday we'll
work out.
hopefully we'll get one.
We got Paul the nose flute.
Oh, Cajun, tell me a story. Tell me a story through the tears in your eyes. Oh, Cajun, tell me a story. Life that has died while the world stands by. Oh, Cajun, sing about the bayou. Sing about the bayou before it's gone. Oh, Cajun, sing about the bayou and a life that has died while the world looks on. Oh, Cajun, sing about the bayou, sing about the bayou before it's gone. Oh, Cajun, sing about the bayou and a life that has died while the world looks on. our life is dying when the world's on. Oh, Cajun, sing about the bayou, sing about the bayou before it's gone. Cajun, sing about the bayou when our life that is dying when the world's on. Oh, Cajun, tell me a story, tell me a story through the tears in your eyes. Oh, Cajun, tell me a story about a life that is dying when the world's on. Probably in the wrong key for me, but this next one is a little different than what I usually do because it's in French, but that's a little change.
I don't know what key that is.
It's in the key of, it's the key of F.
Key of Paris.
I'm going to play the game anyway. Anyway, but it's kind of the answer to that other song, but the friend of mine, when I first started learning Cajun music, I met a guy named D.L. Menard, who's a very famous Cajun songwriter, who wrote a song called The Back Door, and it was the first song I learned, and I said, D.L., how many chords in this? And he said, only 3, we get full cold, we call that classical. So I learned it, and now I'm writing my own. So anyway, this one is called Bayou of My Heart. Let's see. Chamois Bayou, à la claire de lune, en passé en bureau, avancé sans bruit, la muse pendue dans les cyprès, c'est mon monde. Rester dans les bayous, l'alligator marche dans les bras, j'ai connu, pas caché mon amour. Les wawarons chantent la chanson et chantent qui en manquait. Quand même les moustiques serpents à l'arrière, chez mon amour, tu dis toujours qu'il va rester dans le bayou de mon cœur. Oui.
Yeah, Ricky, your dad was there as well. So. All right, now look, it's 9 o'clock and we only have 60 minutes, but we got 80 minutes worth of entertainment here. So I'm going to ask some of you if you volunteer to play one song, that would be nice, except for the new people. We want to hear 2 songs from you. And what I want you to do is come up here, do it, and get it, and I will talk less and you will talk less, and we'll try to get through it all. So up next, another newbie. Let's sacrifice Gabrielle, ladies. Much for your face. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. So hello, I'm Gabriella. I have been playing music for years, but I've not been writing my own stuff. I've been playing other people's music, and only very recently have I started composing my own
It's
things.
about
And,
time.
I thought too. And so in the past 3 weeks, I've just been bit by a bug, and I've just been composing. And these are the only 2 songs I have, even on guitar. And this first one is called Demons. Woo! Everyone has a demon painting the color black. Everyone has a someone who is never coming back. Everyone has a reason. Is there anyone to blame? 'Cause we're all feeling something, and we all bleed the same. Everyone has a monster lurking underneath their bed. Everyone's desperate for love. We keep fighting instead. Everyone has their reasons for giving in to the insane. 'Cause we're all feeling something, and we are bleeding the same. It's a shame. Needless pain. Everyone has a demon painting the color black. Everyone has a someone who is never coming back. We all have a reason. Is there anyone to blame? 'Cause we're all feeling something, and we all bleed the same. The second one is one I came up with last week, and it's called Pretend. I wear a smile like you wear yours too. It lingers for a while, but when you're alone, what does it do? We're pretending that everything's alright. If it could mend this world, I'm gonna imagine to your smile for another day. Keep on faking till we make our way. Hold on to your smile for another day. Pretending till we get it right. Gotta pretend till we get this right. Gotta pretend till I get it right.
Let's hear for Gabrielle Tamar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Garrett.
How would be happier without the mic?
I know.
Oh, Gary.
I am too.
Hey, you don't need to like that. Okay, this is a brand new song. Yeah! Cool. Over the last 3 days I wrote this. So you're the first, this is the first audience to hear like to go out walking the places we knew, the big old oak tree reminds me of you. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. What did you say? I just got thinking, I was drifting away. I've got premature nostalgia. I miss you today. Premature nostalgia. I like it right here. Premature nostalgia. I miss you, my dear. I know I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. Why can't I miss you while it's still going on? I got premature nostalgia. I miss you when you're premature nostalgia. I like it right here. Premature nostalgia. I miss you, my dear. I'm gonna have to miss you. I understand. I might as well miss you while I'm holding your hand. Premature nostalgia. Miss you when you're here. Premature nostalgia. I miss you, my dear.
Gary Garrett, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we saw him a few weeks ago. Now we get to see him for the second time, but he's still a virgin. Let's sacrifice it for Jorge.
Let's go.
Sit for
Yeah, probably. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, he ain't no virgin no more now.
Pop his cherry.
5 of them.
Always do that off stage, folks. We're all tired of hearing that little Chinese tuning.
I had to do it like on the fly.
We really don't have time, and that's why I ask you to do this before you get up here, you know, because...
Sorry about that.
You or your voice? Your guitar or your voice?
It's right in the middle.
That's good. All right.
Yeah. Yahoo!
Work always seems to get in the way, and it always tends to ruin my day. Like just last week I got summoned for jury duty, and tonight a dinner with my family, but it's not that I don't care enough, it's just everyone wants me to do too much stuff that I get so confused. I don't know what to do as I lie in my bed and complain in my room, but yet to think that all I wanted to do was write some songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. Alright, next chorus, you're all gonna sing along. It's to think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. Little brother out with a science project. Yeah, he still somehow managed to fail it. Just the other day I adopted a dog on a whim. Yet I've led to learn just how to train him. I go out on all these dates, but I never get laid. I apply for all these jobs, but I never get paid. I don't mind how my complaints just sound so cliche. How I waste all this time just to fail either way. But yet to think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. You never realize drinking is a problem until you catch yourself drinking too often, blacking out at parties, getting nude in front of your friends. Yet it never helps you meet any ends. Regrets early every day in the morning. I'm told, though I'm only 19, this shit's already old. How I have a bad case of adult ADD. Yet I find all this time to drink and watch TV. But yet to think that all I wanted to do is write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. To think that all I wanted to do was write songs today. Songs today. Songs today. Songs today. I catch myself procrastinate. It fills me up with such self-hate that the longer I take, the longer I wait. I'll never get anything done
Go for it. We're running out of time, but go for it.
Tear it up. This next one, my friend Kyle Bray helped me write about a year ago. He's right there, that blonde guy with long hair. So everyone clap to him. I'm not a sadist, but this I admit. I was subtly aroused by the cuts on her hip and the frail voice she'd speaking, on the verge of crying when I told her my thoughts of life and she could only talk of dying. My little borderline. My little borderline. I hate to remember how she'd pull on my strings, how she'd convince her little puppet to do anything. But you know, like a fool, yeah, I try and try. If only I'd known it had always been a lie, my little borderline. It wasn't too long before I discerned that all over her arms were self-inflicted burns. But though newly I noticed I averted my eyes, if only I'd known it was always a disguise, my little borderline. Secret she'd whisper into my ear about a sort of disaster that was bound to appear. But no, I didn't listen. I assumed I'd be fine. Mistakes I made. The worst was calling her mine, my little borderline. That way I reacted, but no doubt I was quick as she down 60 melted abruptly, became sick, vomit on her dress, on the verge of crying as I walked in. She'd already been dying, my little borderline. I'll ask you to walk away if it's ever these words you hear one say, that they've never quite had a sense of self, or they just might rather be anybody else. So please make sure you check their wrists for scars and scabs and peculiar slits, and remember you're the first one that you shouldn't doubt, and no matter how far in you are, there's always a way out. So promise me I won't look back as you walk away as fast as you can, and soon enough you'll realize it was all a waste of your time on the borderline. There at the side of a hospital bed, she was sort of awake, but to me she was dead. When she said she didn't want me, nor would I provide, nothing could hide the rage I felt inside, my little borderline. I had a dream that she was holding the hands of a useless, stupid, powerless man, and when I awoke, naturally it coincided, he was catering into her on the other side, my little borderline. Look into her eyes, notice the gaze as she lulls you into an intense, deep, and endless haze. As your ship aims for the rocks, you be hypnotized. Thus speaks the siren as she passes me blame on the borderline.
That was a borderline performance. So while Dr. Dream is getting set up, we are quickly running out of time. We got 5 more artists and only enough time for 3. So Dr. Dream has been very kind and said he'll only do a small set. Would you
I volunteer to pass it on.
do one tune?
I'll do 0.
Oh,
Just go ahead.
thank you. Everybody, Frank Carter, I'm gonna goddamn letters for that. We want you. Yeah. We want new people. That's why we do this. And people who come here every week, you know, hell, we're gonna see them again anyway, so we love them all. So, for those of you who don't know what you're in store for, Dr. Dream is tells stories and uses some electronic devices to amplify his voice in unique ways. Please don't talk during the performances. You're coming into my microphone. If I'm hearing you, the world's hearing you. Shush, please. We don't do that here. Anyway, he does what I call sonic imaginarium. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment here, as soon as he gets plugged in, turning it over to Dr. Dream. Let's give him a big round of applause. Sean, we'll do you next, okay? Turn it on. There you go. Is your AC plugged in? Oh yeah, I see there. Oh, you're going in the wrong input plug. There's CRAD. That's for yeah. All right.
We remember this last week.
Well, that's the problem with changing from a male to a female. You forget which one.
God, you're so cute.
Where's the tech crew when you need them?
That's right. They were.
God damn them! Where are they?
And they're not going.
They
I'm available for hire.
They're on the borderline.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, let's get into Hi, it's me, Dr. D, and the doctor is on.
Yes, I am Dr. Dream.
And I am the imagination mover. As this imagination mover, I'd like to take everyone's collective imaginations, or imagination. And you are now inside the body of a member within a tour group. Yes, you're inside a museum, an art museum, as a matter of fact, and you're listening to the guide explain what's on the wall, all these different painted portraits. And Jesus standing in front of you, and
Well, now you'll notice this one over here. It's rather interesting on half a note. And over there, that one's rather interesting too. That one kind of turns this way and that.
You're all taking notes. And then pretty soon you notice that inside the paintings, the people within the portraits start moving. They're moving around. And everybody starts realizing this, except the lady talking. And she turns around and they stop. They just morph back into what they were doing. And then she goes back into her talk and
then, also, I want to say that...
And a guy with facial hair and dressed as a 17th century musketeer reaches over the side of the frame he's in and grabs her. He's rather large because the frame is large. And he picks her right. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? And they go inside this dark painting. It's all dark in there. It's black. And they disappear. And what you do, you go over and you grab a nearby ladder and put it up next to this thing and you go up and you kind of see from the light from the museum, you see inside, and there's a staircase going down. Of course, hey, why not? You don't know where it's going, but hey, so. And you get to the bottom, and there's a floor, and you see a door in front of you with a light coming out from underneath it. So you go up. And you open it up. And what do you see but a brightly lit, all white room except for a black linoleum shiny floor. Something like Fred Ginger be dancing across there. It's nice and bright. So you go walking across it because there's a doorway on the other side. But no door. It leads to the outside. And so, and suddenly you're out in an alley. And you look up this alley and start walking towards a street with traffic and pedestrians. Only, yeah, they're all painted. They're all two-dimensional. Two-dimensional trucks, cars, people. Hey, get out of the way! You know, it doesn't take much to get out of their way. And then across the street, you see this musketeer that you saw in the painting, and he's sitting there in a cafe, sitting at a table, having an espresso and talking nonchalantly to the tour guide who's also having an espresso, and they're talking it up, getting to know each other. Oh well.
Well done. You'll have to show me how you do that.
Do you want to do, could you do a bass line?
Let's hear it one more time for Dr. Drew.
Yeah!
All right, Sean.
Is it cool by...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sit down and walk in.
I can't believe it.
Dr. Green just did. She's gonna move all this equipment. It's best if you do sit down because then we can see you on camera better.
Oh, good.
Would you like to get mine?
Yeah, we'll get
Very nice. Very
By the way, if you were in a two-dimensional world, your intestinal tract would cut you in half and you'd fall over. Being a physicist, I think of things like that. I don't know why.
weird science.
Well, we'll put that for the days.
You think that's good? Can you guys hear me? What?
Yeah?
Hello? Thank you.
Let's hear it for Sean, folks.
I'm going to do a Talking Head song.
I don't know what this means.
Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me around. I'll come home, born with a weak heart. Guess I must be having fun. The less we say about it, the better. Make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay, I know nothing's wrong. Nothing's higher. I got plenty of time. Higher. You got light in your eyes. All those kind of people you've got a face with a view. I'm just an animal looking for a home. Share the same space for a minute or two, and you'll love me until my heart stops. Love me till I'm dead. As that light up, I look through you. You cover up your blank spots, hit me on the head. I got is where I want to be, but I guess I'm already there. I'll come home. She lifted up her wings. Guess that this must be the place. I can't tell one from another. Did I find you or you find me? There was a time before we were born. If someone else, this is where I'll be. Where I'll higher. We drifted in and out. Higher. Singing to my mouth. Out of all those kind of people, you've got a face with a view. I'm just an animal looking for a home. Share the same space for a minute or two, and you'll love me till my heart stops. Love me till I'm dead. I tell it up, I look through you. Cover up the blank spots, hit me on the head. I got I'm gonna do. Should I do two?
Yes. You're new here. You
should.
You better, because once you become a regular, you'll be stuck with like the rest of us.
This is a poem song. Sorry, no originals today. The island, it is silent now. The ghost still haunts the way, and a torch lights up the family. Fortune could not. Fuck that.
Yeah.
The island, it is silent now.
appreciate that. That was great, and I love that you're just out in our face. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, this guy I'm really proud to bring. If you really want to kick some ass and do the blues, it takes a great harmonica player. Here's ours, Marco Hart.
Yeah. Where we are, you too can have one of these postcards. Send yourself in case you're lonely like me and you gotta write yourself a love letter because it's a safe sex, safest sex item.
Yeah, right.
I like my friend, I'll never forget what's his name. I can't remember his name. Oh, Kurt. Yeah, Kurt. He said, I'm so paranoid, I masturbate with a condom on. That's what do you want from anybody want my harmonica? I'm on a very neat notebook.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but somebody might do something. They said a neat desk is a sure sign of a sick mind. On my notebook shows my sickness apparently.
Mighty healthy.
Yeah, I use a notebook to help me remember, but I forget what page it's on.
You know, it's a big music stand, but you got to sit down to play to it. So good thing because I think it's about time I said.
Filling in for nightmare.
I used to be a stand-up comic. They couldn't stand me. I wrote this one many moons ago when the first George Bullshit stole himself into our orifice and surprise, surprise, politicians still tell and live lies. I call it Uncle Scam or them same old new. You'll ask clues. I play your harmonica upside down and you're a real blues man from the way back when.
Right.
I'm only from way back then, so here. Grateful Dead said red and white, and blue suede shoes. Well, you can call my mail. One same old New Year's blue. I am Uncle Skank, that's who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out in the swamps of Vietnam and the slums of Sudan. I will blind your mind, you will believe I'm kind. I will poison all your water, your unborn sons and daughters. Steal your women's voices, rob all of your choices, and I'll take your taxes. That's exactly what the price is. I'm Uncle Skank. That's who the hell I am. I smell the sea. But I just don't seem to give a good goddamn. Going into Syria. I'm Uncle Skank. I smell this in your ear. Next up, next up might be Pakistan. Next might be Iran. Who told you you
you must kill to be a man. I said, who told you you must kill to be a man? What's it gonna be? Dreams why we'll need fatal harmony, peace of insanity, friend around me. I'm Uncle Scanners, who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out your computer span. It's all part of the act, and that's a fact.
Marco Harps! Marco Harps!
Please remember me.
Marco Harps!
Hey, I'm Ryan, by the way. I'm Yuri, by the way. Yuri. Thanks. This is great. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get real personal. This gentleman, ever since he moved from New York to San Francisco, we are one hell of a lucky town to have this person here, I'm telling you, really. And he travels all over the country representing people of interest and things here in town, and he does lectures and stuff and keeps bouncing back and forth, and he must just be so out of sync with all this flying around. But when he's in town, he comes here and does us a favor of coming and singing for us. And I would like to introduce Ryan Casado.
All right.
Take your time.
Hey, Ryan.
I can see soda cans clanking off the back of our hippie van, driving to our log cabin house on the bay. I can see us sitting there, rosy cheeks and long brown hair, collecting characters as they sway. And where are you now while I'm dreaming all this out? Does distance make the heart grow fonder, or does it make it wander around? You can't promise this won't tear me down. You can't hear me shout it out. Well, I hold the heart of doubt. I doubt that love's real anyway. Love, well, you can't hear me say it's tear me down. Well, hold the ring, boy. Love will make you drown. Oh yeah. Well, I can see children clinging to our knees, 'cause we're the ones they need. Oh, grandma and grandpa wouldn't know. Well, I can see them growing up, drinking up and growing up, becoming wild gypsies like we. And where are you now while I'm dreaming all this out? Does distance make the heart grow fonder, or does it make it wander around? You can't promise this won't tear me down. You can't hear me
I sure hope so.
So I got a new record coming out on next Friday, Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Wow, cool.
Even better.
Good, even better, yeah. And the name will be?
It's called Jupiter, It Won't Be Long.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. I'd go and stand with them, held up a sign at City Hall, say I salute them. They're just looking for ways to feel free. San Francisco used to thrive with liberty. Now you're taking people's rights while you're holding them hostage. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, we ain't forgotten San Francisco in its golden days. Those men were just wearing socks. We are taught to hate our bodies. Why must we feel this way? Well, San Francisco, we are standing up in this protest. We used to be so free. We used to love our bodies. Well, San Francisco, we feel so naked. We feel so naked. We feel so naked. We feel so goddamn clothed.
Ryan Casata, ladies and gentlemen.
At least it's not glass.
Easy. So quickly now, our schedule has filled out a little bit, so let me give you an update. Next week, Joe Deanna. Please do not miss her. The week after that, September 19th, Charles Haymarket. All the way back from the Philippines. September 26th, Daryl Jones. October 3rd, Jimmy G, ladies and gentlemen. October 10th, Johnny Hernandez. October 17th will be Side Street Ricky. October 24th, Ryan Casada will be a feature on Halloween, Ladies Zeitgeist. And we just got it confirmed, November 7th, ladies and gentlemen, Rainbow. One thing is, even though we host the show here, hi, I'm Mr. Natural, this is not possible without our sponsor. So could everybody just give it up and look at our man back there and say thank you. Thank you. And so I'd like to say, I'm thankful for your smile. I'm thankful for your wink, that little twinkle in your eyes. I'm thankful for the music in your soul. When I'm feeling incomplete, you all make me whole. I thank you for your touch. You see the little things you do for me that always mean so much. Like being here and always being true. For this and so much more, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I'm thankful for your fire. The passion of your spirit never ceases to inspire me. I'm thankful for this moment that we share. and for a chance to let you all know I care. So when you feel like no one wants you, know that you're my lucky star, and I am thankful for you just the way you are. Good night, Mrs. Weekend, honey, and everyone else. Thank you. Good night. See you next Thursday. Joe Deanna. And good night, Joe. I hope you finished your housework.
Perfect. This is exactly the right night.
Right on.
Mr. Astro,
I will make it out there again very soon.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Well, believe it or not, I normally don't wear this. I love this guy. I thought she gave it to me as a gift today, and I thought I would wear it tonight. And so
I'm San Diego, and
I love the fabulous.
What's called Low Tide Ranch.
Fabulous.
My dad's a biology teacher.
I'll make sure that's like a
Yeah, actually,